This is going to be our top 10 worst movies of 2016. There is some real garbage on here. But, you know, like as always, this is just our opinions. Alright, let's get started. My top 10 worst movies of the year. My number 10 is Assassin's Creed. Oh my gosh, were you pumped for this movie? And was it a huge whiny disappointment? The more I kept thinking about it, the more I hated it. It was just a huge disappointment for all movie fans, video game fans, game movie fans.
I really don't think it was that bad. I think it was okay-ish. It wasn't a good movie. I'm not going to defend it. But I don't think it's one of the 10 worst movies of the year.
Horrible story, stupid plot, dumb fight scenes. There was like some cool parkour. I'll give it that. That's about all I got for it. But my number 9 is the Angry Birds movie. There was a lot of good animation this year, but the Angry Birds was not one of them. You know, I didn't have much hope in this movie from the beginning when they were making a movie off of an app. But the trailer came out and I thought, you know what, this could be funny. But there really was no story. I remember that was the biggest flaw of the movie. There was just interesting about it whatsoever. And you know, there was a couple good jokes, but beyond that, it was just, I mean, looked pretty. I remember that, but very disappointing. You know, coming from somebody who loves a lot of animation, this was not one that you need to see. My number 8 is The Boy. Saw a lot of good horror movies last year, and I don't even like horror, but The Boy started us off. Well, it was the second horror movie I saw of the year, and whew, is it bad? It had Maggie from Walking Dead leading the movie. Probably not a good start, but I know you got to start somewhere in the movie world.
Probably made $20.
It was just super cheesy and not scary at all. And yeah, it was bad horror at its finest. My number 7 is How to Be Single. I am a sucker for rom-coms every once in a while too, but this one, another disappointing movie. I like Rebel Wilson. What's her name? Dakota something. The girl from the 50 Shades movie. You know, I kind of liked, she was the only part I liked about the 50 Shades movie. But they both, you know, just couldn't keep this movie interesting for me. It was just really depressing and didn't feel like they were trying to be like, you know, go women. But it wasn't that at all. It was kind of the opposite of that. So my number 6, Mechanic Resurrection. I forgot about this movie, the original movie, when I went to go see this. So I went back and watched it and I was like, you know what, I kind of like the Mechanic. And then I went and saw Mechanic Resurrection and it was like, nope, I don't like Mechanic anymore because it's so bad. It's up there. Like, the action is really cheesy. The character that Jason Statham plays was like cool in the first movie, and this movie he just goes completely different. Jessica Alba, oh my God, it was some of the worst acting I've ever seen. She just needs to quit being in movies where she has to talk at least.
At least she's hot.
That's the only. Very highly disappointed. That was my 10 through 6.
Alright, my 10 through 6. Let's begin. My number 10 is Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. P-U-S-A. I'm going to be saying that a lot today. This is not a good movie. I was kind of looking forward to it when I saw the trailers. I was like, oh, okay, we got... Zombies are cool because of the Walking Dead craze. Now I think zombies are getting kind of old lately. And then adding them to the Pride and Prejudice story was interesting. The main girl, I liked the main girl because she was in Cinderella, but overall this movie just wasn't a good movie. It's just, ugh. My number 9, he just talked about it. How to Be Single. This is garbage movie. This was not a good movie. I wasn't looking forward to the movie one bit. I think you were looking a little more forward to it than I am. I watched it, and I was just like, oh, it's just like, it just wasn't good. Rebel Wilson, she was doing her Rebel Wilson thing of Dakota, whatever her last name is, 50 Shades girl.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Dakota Johnson.
Anyway, she was okay, but not really. And then there were so many side stories. There were characters who weren't even connected to the main story. Like, there's this one girl shows up, and she never even meets our main characters. So why the hell was she in the movie? This is just, what the hell are you doing? Whoever directed this movie, gosh, alright. My number 8 is Ride Along 2. Wow, this is getting bad, guys. Ride Along 2, Kevin Hart, Ice Cube, sequel to the movie that no one even liked. There's probably another one. I'm not crazy about Kevin Hart. I thought he proved himself in Central Intelligence because he did a little something different. Okay. But he just does this stupid, sticky, comedy thing that Kevin Hart does. And Ice Cube is just like the whole time. And then I guess the one good thing about it was at least Olivia Munn was not as bad as she was in X-Men Apocalypse.
Probably her best performance right here.
My number 7 is a movie that you had on your top 10 anticipated movies of 2016. And that is Independence Day Resurgence. God, what a terrible movie. You're missing Will Smith character, you're missing the charisma. You have Baby Thor in it, he's just not good in movies. And then you have Will Smith's son in the movie, and he's terrible in it. And the story's bad, there's not an epic speech by the ex-president.
Well, this is kind of like the Assassin's Creed was for you. I didn't find this movie horrible, but I was severely disappointed. Probably didn't deserve to be on my top 10 anticipated list. And like you said, it's severely missing Will Smith.
My number 6 is the first movie of 2016, so it starts the year off with a bang, and that is The Forest. Wow, what a terrible movie. You had Natalie Dormer, who was in Game of Thrones. She was hot, she plays a twin. She goes into the Japanese suicide force, and it's an interesting premise, but it just doesn't work out well, and it's a terrible movie, and that's it for The Forest. I don't want to talk about it anymore. He'll talk about it just in a second. Anyways, Reddy Cage, back to you.
Well, like he said, my number 5 is The Forest. And like he said, I remember it was first movie of the year, my first video review of 2016, and when we started off pretty horrible. I like Natalie Dormer too, but this was another horror movie that wasn't scary, followed a lot of the same horror movie cliches. And, you know, besides her looking hot and the movie like having a cool look to it at times, there was really nothing good about this movie. So, yeah, that's my number 5. My number 4 is Ice Age Collision Course, another animated movie that I had really lost hope in the Ice Age series. But
wait, this is like the 3rd one, right?
This is like 5th or 6th.
What?
Yeah. But I went back and rewatched it, and I was like, you know, they're not as bad as I thought. Whatever. They're kind of, you know, throwaway movies. They just keep adding more and more characters that you don't care about, and they do the same thing in this one. This has got to be the worst one of them all, though. I mean, it's just so bad. It wasn't funny. They do poop and butt jokes. And it's just to be there to be flashy for 2-year-olds is the only thing I can think of. Just bad movie. And my number 3, another animated movie, Sausage Party. This one hurts a little bit more because I was really looking forward to this. But Seth Rogen is really hit or miss with me sometimes, and this is one of his misses. It was not funny, and the main joke of the movie gets old real quick. And they just kind of just repeat the same joke over and over and over and over again. Then they get like really vulgar towards the end for no reason, just to be vulgar, just to earn that R rating. So, my number 2, Gods of Egypt. Alex Proyas has made some good movies. I, Robot, for one, I really like that movie. This was not it. It only didn't make my number 1 because I hated something a little more, but I mean, it's right up there as one of the worst movies of the year. It has a horrible story that only gets more ridiculous. Bad acting, it's the most CG I've ever seen in a movie since like the prequels. It's just CG on top of CG. It just was stupidity. That's my 5 through 2. Take it away, Darth Easy.
Alright, my number 5 is another January movie. It's like the 2nd or 3rd movie I saw that year. That's Dirty Grandpa. You have Zac Efron and Robert De Niro. And Robert De Niro, he's there for a paycheck. That's what he's in the movie for. The movie's not funny at all. I just don't remember this movie that well. I hate this movie. I just don't like this movie one bit.
See, this is the one out of all your lists that I mean, we really loved this movie. I remember going and seeing this with people, and the theater was packed, and I thought it was hilarious. I mean, it's got a kind of predictable shtick that, you know, goes on for a long time, but I don't know. I thought it was funny. It's a raunchy comedy.
I hated it.
I don't know.
Alright, my number 4 is Hardcore Henry. The premise behind this is it's kind of like a Call of Duty action movie, basically. That's what the premise was. And I don't know, it just wasn't crazy. The camera work was really, it was making me sick. I don't want another movie like this again. And some of the action scenes were cool, but overall, this movie's not great. My number 3 is The Boss with Melissa McCarthy. I hate this movie. I'm not the biggest Melissa McCarthy fan, I won't lie. And she teams up with the Oscar-nominated Tammy. And this is one of the worst movies I saw in 2016. And it just wasn't funny. You have Peter Dinklage thinking he's a samurai in this movie. It's like, you have dishonored me. And Melissa McCarthy wants to sell Girl Scout cookies. Melissa McCarthy, do something different. And that brings me into my number 2, and that is Ghostbusters. If you follow my channel at all, you know I wasn't looking forward to this movie. Oh, I went online, I saw the score, I saw there was like a 70% score on Rotten Tomatoes. That's a good score. I was like, okay, maybe I was wrong. I watched it, and I was getting pissed off. The movie pissed me off so much. The story is basically the original Ghostbusters, but not in a clever way like what The Force Awakens did when it was reminiscent to A New Hope. This is just complete garbage. Every character trying to comic relief. You have Kate McCann doing her little stupid face thing. And it's just so bad. The only thing I'll give that movie was Leslie, whatever her name is, and the black chick. I thought she was probably the best part of the movie, but God, this is a horrible movie.
My number 1 is Hardcore Henry. Like he said, there was a few cool action scenes, but for the most part, this movie had no story. It was stupidity, and it was just like non-stop action. It was a movie built around a gimmick. That's what the movie was. It was like, wouldn't it be cool to do the whole movie in first person? Sure, we'll make a good movie with the gimmick, and then it would be cool. It was stupid. I remember, 20, 30 minutes into it, I was like, get me out of here. Out of all the movies each year, this was the one that I really wanted to walk out of the theater. But I stuck it out, but man, did I not want to. It was so bad. So that's my worst movie of the year, Hardcore Henry.
Alright, my number 1. This was a movie I didn't even want to go to. Raymond Cage dragged me to the theaters to see this movie. He said, oh come on, it's going to be stupid popcorn movie. I like his last movie, I, Robot, and if you haven't figured it out yet, it's God's Evil. This is the only movie of the year I got my worst rating out of. I gave Gods of Egypt an E. This is a completely terrible movie. You know exactly what kind of movie this is going to be. 10 minutes in the movie. When the father dies, he goes, your journey has only just begun. And then 40 minutes in the movie, they're going to space. And I turned and I was just like, what are we watching? And then you have some guy fighting a big smoke monster. And
yeah, it was stupid.
It's just, wow, one of the worst movies of all time. If I was going to do a top 10 worst movies of all time, this could be in there. This is so bad. I hated this movie. I can't talk about it anymore or I'm going to get more pissed off. Gods of Egypt deserves to be the worst movie of 2016.
Alright, so that's our top 10 worst movies. Don't see any of these movies if you haven't.
Unless you're drunk.
That's going to be it for this video. Check out our other videos. We got a top 10 movie show coming out, I don't know, in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe. Might be more than that.
Yeah,
Might be mid-January. And then we've got look forward to the Easy Cage show coming soon. Awesome teaser trailer I'll post up here somewhere. What do we got else? We got top 10 most anticipated coming on the 1st.
Yeah, I'll be uploaded on the 1st.
And we'll have top 10 TV shows coming sometime soon.
Yeah.
So, lots of good stuff. And
it's a good time to be an Easy Cage fan.
That's right.
You can follow me at Darth Easy on my Facebook page on Twitter. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Darth Easy. I do movie, television, video games, anime, and book reviews. And that's it.
Yep, you can check me out at rainycage.com or just go to search Rainy Cage up on YouTube. Peace out.
All too easy.